We're looking at our starter, Carl Cap, and he assures me that he just knows Al Cap. We got a race going, and my, why did all of those guys wait for that citation to do that lead like that? We've had this may very well be a handicap race. They have just given Dave Gott something like a 100-yard head start, and I don't understand that at all like that, but maybe those other guys are being nice. They're just laying back and giving him a chance. I know he wasn't real happy after qualifying yesterday, but boy, he sure got a hand me freebie from Carl Cap on that one, and he is stretching his lead right now. Looks like the red car, which is the Swift of number 20, looks to be running like it's second place right now. But as we go up and over the hill and down the dale, right now it's Dave Gott. He's in the lead. The red car is running second, Porter running third, and our pole sitter is now running fourth. So, well, not to worry. We got 12 laps to go in this race, I think. And nope, correct that. It looks to me like it's 16 laps to go, about 40 miles. So, by golly, here we are. We're running the Hoosier tire. And by golly, we see now that our pole sitter seems to have caught up to some of those guys anyway, and we're looking for a move down in corner 9. Right now we've got 3 cars racing very, very closely. They are all Swifts, and right now we got a citation in the lead. Dave Gott, Cerritos, California, car number 3. In the lead, but the Swift guys look like they're taking lessons from the Neil Porter moved by car number 56, went into second place, sliding on by car number 20 there. That was Mark Reynolds. And right now, Kirk Stevens, the guy who was the quickest, is running third. Pardon me, correct that, fourth. Very tight race as the cars go up the hill. It's still a citation show. Very, very close racing. Well, this has kind of developed into, we've got 3Bs and a guy way out in front right now, but we know that second group there, which is one of the 3Bs, is going to really get after it. We'll be having some times here for you very shortly, and we'll kind of give you the idea if they're closing the area up or not. For those of you who like to keep track of laps, it looks to me like we're going to be doing about 14 right now, and we see a pass back there. Kirk Stevens, the pole sitter, has now eased his way very carefully through corner 9 up into third place right now. Right now it's all citation. Dave Gott, Citation West, car number 3 in the lead. Kirk Stevens, the pole sitter, says, it's time for me to get up here and see what's going on. Yes, indeedy, Kirk Stevens, who is recovering somewhat from that questionable start. We're still not quite sure what happened on the start there. Maybe it was a handicap deal. If so, Dave Gott is certainly taking... Hey, come to think of it, maybe that's the old I gotcha joke. You know, Dave Gott, I gotcha. Right. Dave Gott right now in the citation, in the lead, comfortably. Kirk Stevens, the pole sitter, now has moved from fourth up into second. We'll give you some basic times on this compared to the qualifying times. Kirk Stevens qualified on the pole at 1:25:32, and we'll just see how many of those 1:25s he's got in his hip pocket right now, because he is getting away from the third and fourth place car, and he is starting to put the heat on the racetrack to try to catch Dave Gott, Citation West. But this is what makes a horse race, a dog race, a cat race. Who said that, a cat race? No, this is a Formula Ford race, and right now, Dave Gott's in the lead, and closing on him is Kirk Stevens, running second. Neil Porter running third, car number 56. And of course, car 20, Mark Reynolds from Bakersfield, is holding on in fourth place. So right now, we got a show going on. We have to note here that car number 24, Chris Sundstrom, the other car out of Denver, Colorado, the other Swift, the red and white, a little bit of blue trim car, has, even though he qualified sixth, has now moved up a spot or two, and we're looking for good things out of him. Chris, of course, races regularly with Kirk Stevens, and they are, as a rule, very, very equal type competitors. And we hope very soon to come up with a lap time for you on either our leader or our second place car, which is now getting away from number 3 and number 4 a bit, and seems to be closing the gap somewhat on the leader. So maybe old I Gotcha Dave Gott decided he better get out of the barn and make a run for it, and Kirk Stevens looks to be stalking him at this point in time. Into corner 9 now, it is Dave Gott, still running very, very hard in the citation. The Swift Formula Ford cars have been totally dominant in the Sports Car Club of America form of Formula Ford racing, but right now it's a citation show, and Chris Sundstrom seems to be gaining a little bit on the pack. Sundstrom may very well be the guy that is taking the quick times right now, even though he is sitting back in 5th spot. Over hill, over dale, it's still Dave Gott in the lead. Kirk Stevens closing, still closing. He may have whittled that lead into half of what it was a short 3 or 4 laps ago. Well, in checking with our friends up here in the tower, we've been informed that Dave Gott is turning in at a time of about 126.5, which is a little bit off of his qualifying time of 125.85. But very shortly, Kirk Stevens, who has narrowed the lead considerably after that bizarre, that's a Canadian program, story, and the split now appears to be down to less than 2 seconds. So if we got everybody whittling away here, a second or so lap, it won't take very long. Again, we would like to remind everybody, please don't hang your pieces parts over the pit wall. Please don't lean on the pit wall unless you're really tired and don't think you're going to make it through the day. And just kind of keep a handle on that pit wall for us, so we want to make it good and safe racing. Right now, though, Kirk Stevens is the hunter, and Dave Gott is the hunted. The citation from Cerritos, California, in the lead and going quite smartly. And right now, Kirk Stevens has got the fishing reel out, and he's starting to reel him in. It appears from our watches at this point in time that Kirk Stevens is gaining something in the form of about 1/4 of a second per lap. And right now that means we can all take a nap for the next couple of laps here while Kirk Stevens is doing his thing and Dave Gott is running like as fast as he can. We've been informed by our officials here that we've got around 10 laps left to run, and that would put us in the middle third of the race. So we're a little bit off form. We got Gott in the lead, Stevens running second, Porter and Reynolds hanging on for third and fourth. Chris Sundstrom up a spot or two, running fifth. Dorcott, car 34, is back a spot, and Swenson, the Dallas driver in the much modified Royale, is still hanging on in there for 7th place. Yes, the noose gets tighter, as they say. Kirk Stevens still reeling him in. we have just been informed that they are going to run one of the Long Beach MGs down along the pit wall within about 2 inches. So if you have any pieces, parts, or anything that's hanging over the pit wall that's any wider than 2 inches, watch out, because they're going to run an MG down there right away, and you might get caught. Yes, this may not be the biggest Formula Ford race you've ever seen, but it looks to me like it's getting to be a very, very tight Formula Ford race. Kirk Stevens, the hunter. Dave Gott, the hunted. Right now, they're down to about a half a second. By our calculations, about 1 or 2 more laps, this is going to become a real race. Dave Gott, Cerritos, California, car number 3, driving for Citation Win. In the lead. He's over at the casino. Okay, here we go. Kirk Stevens now up in the draft. Dave Gott seems to be very strong down the straightaway, but Stevens now is in the draft. Look for a move as we go down here to corner 9. This could be it. It might be one more lap, but Kirk Stevens is one of those guys that started on the ovals, and boy, if you leave him a little room on the inside or a little room on the outside, he's going to find a way. Kirk Stevens, Denver, Colorado. Dave Gott from Cerritos, California, hooking it up. Well, we're about halfway through the race, and if anybody wants to pick this one, Stevens blasting down on the inside now. Dave Gott pushing him over there, but Stevens is through it in the lead. Gott goes back inside. Stevens goes wide. He almost spun the car. He was very sideways city down there in corner 1. Dave Gott gave him a move on the inside. It was another I gotcha. Wow, that car did touch in corner 1. Wow. Exciting racing here. Kirk Stevens says, well, I caught him once before. Now I better get back and catch him again. You got to know that those 2 guys back down there, and that is Porter and Reynolds are sitting back there with a couple of good chairs to watch this thing, and boy, they had to be excited to see those 2 guys going into corner 1 side by side, touching or nearly so. And right now, it's still Dave Gott from Cerritos, California, in the lead. Second, Kirk Stevens, the Denver, Colorado driver, pole sitter. Worked so hard to gain all that time to catch old Dave Gott, and then he got right up there, and it was sideways city in corner 1. Dave Gott, he has officially led every lap of this race as far as I can tell. We heard an unofficial announcement that this was the largest crowd they've ever had. Is that right? Anyway, Dave Gott, car number 3, Cerritos, California. Kirk Stevens running second, reeling him in again. And we've sure got Neil Porter and Mark Reynolds right there where they can keep an eye on this deal. We got a pass. We got a pass from 4th and 2nd. 4th and 3rd. 4th and 3rd. Over hill, over dale, and up the hill they go. It's still Dave Gott holding on to about a slim half a second lead. Kirk Stevens says, well, by golly, we'll maybe be a little more cautious this time. But he is back coming down the hill and into the draft. Kirk Stevens says, well, we got another couple shots here going. Dave Gott looked to be getting that citation very wide going into corner 1. Either that or he likes the left lane going into corner 1, right? But right now it's Kirk Stevens and saying, I believe I'll have a shot at him on the outside, maybe the inside. No, coming around into corner 9, it's still Gott. He's very, very much in the lead, has been, but Kirk Stevens seems to have his number as far as pure speed is concerned. He's in the draft. We're looking for heavy maneuvering in corner 1. We got a dogfight in for 3rd and 4th, and it's Kirk Stevens on the outside this time. Gott says we gotta let him go. It's Kirk Stevens blasting by on the outside of corner 1. He didn't like it on the inside last time. We got a new leader of this race, ladies and gentlemen. It's Kirk Stevens, the Denver, Colorado driver, the 37 Swift in the lead right now. We'll see what Mr. Gott has for surprises for Mr. Stevens now. And we've got also a heck of a race going on right now between car number 56 and car 20. That's Reynolds and Neil Porter, and they're having it out right there, not very far behind our leaders. Kirk Stevens in the lead. Porter is back in control on the third place spot, but he's sure got a big mirror full of Mark Reynolds now, car number 20, another Swift from Bakersfield. Kirk Stevens in the lead. Dave Gott making his move, corner 9, big time. Kirk Stevens in the lead. Kirk Stevens will lead this race, this lap. Anyway, Dave Gott certainly in his mirror. Porter and Reynolds back here having their own little variety of the North-South war. We got a guy from Bakersfield and we got a guy from Merced, and they're back there flogging it out. 2x2, it comes right now. We've got a race back here going on for 5th and 6th. We got another one of those crazy citations and another Swift battling it out. But right now, it's Kirk Stevens in the lead. Dave Gott holding on for second. As they come down the hill, it's still Stevens. Could we have all the celebrity drivers to the celebrity cars, please? Kirk Stevens, the pole sitter, now seems to have pulled out about a half a second. We got about 4 or 5 laps left to go in this beauty. We haven't had a lot of cars, but boy, we've had some boys putting her all on the line out here. We sort of got a 2x2. 3 groups of 2 all having their own little version. Right now, Kirk Stevens in the lead. Gott pulling in a very, very close second. Gott makes the move, going into corner 1, says, "Hello, Kirk, how are you?" And into the lead goes Gott with a locked-up wheel. A puff of smoke off the back tires there. Stevens trying to make the move back again on the outside. Gott's not giving this deal away. He's not giving this deal away at all. We got about 4 more laps to go, and it's Gott back in the lead. Stevens said, "Wait a minute, Gott, haven't you heard I'm from Colorado and I run at the Road Race of Champions?" Nobody's handing this one out. This is no freebie. We don't know how much money is on the line here, but we know all the guys that were racing for cups went to Riverside this weekend, and it's probably just as well, because they probably wouldn't like what's going on here. I mean, there's a race here for somebody for everything. Okay, Stevens says now, we better get a fresh look at this problem here. This Gott guy is not to be trusted. He'll pass you anytime he gets a chance. Right now, Dave Gott from Cerritos, California, in the Citation West car in the lead. It's number 3. Car 37, which is Kirk Stevens from Denver, putting the clothes on him. He's done this all day long. He's been able to catch up to him, and then it doesn't seem to be able to make that pass stick. Somebody said there's an old cliche. Catching an old driver's pretty easy. Passing one is another problem. Okay, we got a tight race. We can't measure the difference between these 2 cars because it's not 1 car length. It's sure not 1 second. It's not 1 day, and there's still 3 laps to go. Right now, Dave Gott from Cerritos in the lead. Neil Porter winning his little private war right now with Mark Reynolds running 3rd. Kirk Stevens sandwiched in there in 2nd. Kirk Stevens looks like he's queuing up for one more shot at this deal. go. Corner 9. That's a big, long, fast sweeper. We got in the lead. Stevens in second. The move has to be made in this corner if you're going to try to win the race on that lap. And we're checking. We got a couple more laps to go, it looks like. And Stevens, side by side. Uh-oh, we got a little blocking situation right now. They're side by side, and Stevens says, I'm going to muscle you if you're going to muscle me. And boy, oh boy, if you didn't like that, you don't know what real race it's all about. Wow. Kirk Stevens just gave him the hand signal, said, I'm going through, baby. Stop me if you can. And right now, it's Kirk Stevens in the lead.
They were hitting the wheels in their lock right through there.
Kirk Stevens, car number 37, pole sitter, Denver, Colorado. A guy who cut his teeth in the bull rings of the midgets at Lakeside, Colorado. And boy, he is not taking any stuff right now. Dave Gott, driver of the year from the Cow Club way back in 1981, saying, wait a minute, I can handle this kid. He's from Colorado, but right now it's not working that way. Kirk Stevens has stretched it out. Looks like he might have a, maybe 2-car length lead. It's probably a very big lead for this race. Okay, Gott making his move, going down into 9. Stevens saying, no way, Jose. We're looking at our flagman, Al Cap. He's got the white flag up. That means we got one more to go. Kirk Stevens seems to have stretched a little in 9. Gott's going to have his hands full trying to get back up there to put some heat on him going into corner 1. That's been Gott's strong suit, is pushing him in corner 1. There's one to go, folks. Put your eyes on this race, ladies and gentlemen. You got a fight out there. This no dog fight. It's not a cat fight. It's a real fight. Kirk Stevens, car 37, the pole sitter, in the lead. Dave Gott from Cerritos in the Citation, putting the heavy push on. We've got less than 2 car lengths separating these cars. As a matter of fact, we don't have very many car lengths back to 3rd and 4th. If those guys had got a little closer start, they might have been able to do this, because they've been there all day long. We tried an inside move up at the top of the hill, but it didn't work. Gott slides wide. Stevens has got the handle. Right now, Stevens has got the handle. He's got a little breathing room. Gott tried to do the inside maneuver. It didn't work. He slid a little wide. Stevens has got about 6 car lengths. Stevens is going to win this race, barring some sort of a weird circumstance down here in corner 9. Gott's giving it his all. The Cal Cub guy's making his move. He is closing slightly on Stevens, but Stevens says, no way, Jose. It's going to be a right down to the wire. It's going to be it is going to be tight. It's going to be less than 2 car lengths, but Kirk Stevens is going to win this race. And if you don't believe it, Carl Cap just gave him the checkered flag to prove it. Right there, the first capped Thunder Car Formula Ford race, won by Kirk Stevens, car 37. This is the Swift. It's out of Denver, Colorado. And boy, that was an exciting race. And if you don't believe it, you should have been riding with those 2 guys down there in corner 1 when they were banging the wheels and swapping the lead.
Should I go get the driver's license?
Now, we take a little brief respite from that. We would also get to tell you that 7th place car was Mike Swenson, of course. Neil Porter ends up 3rd. Reynolds comes in 4th. 5th was Dorcott. Sundstrom comes home 6th. And, of course, 7th, we mentioned, was Mike Swenson. So I guess we could say that the Formula Ford race kind of ran on form. The announcing booth.